Let's talk about a machine you use every single day, but probably not in the way you think. Forget about cooling for a second. We're here to talk about how your fridge is secretly a heat cannon and it's aimed directly at your house.
It's a real head scratcher when you think about it, right? You've got this device. Its one job is to keep your food cold. So how on earth does it end up making the room around it warmer? You know what I'm talking about. That blast of warm air you feel from the back or the bottom of your fridge? You've experienced this firsthand. So let's break down what is actually going on here. To really get how a fridge heats your room, we first have to kind of blow up our whole idea of what it even means to be cold.
I know, that sounds totally wrong. It goes against everything we feel. We talk about catching a cold or the cold air seeping in. But scientifically speaking, cold isn't a thing. It's actually the absence of a thing. The thing that really exists is heat. You see, heat is just the energy of all these tiny particles in everything around us, and they're always jiggling around. When they're moving really fast, we feel that as hot. And when they're moving slow, well, that's what we call cold. And that is the absolute key takeaway here. Your refrigerator isn't adding coldness to your food. It can't. Instead, it's a heat thief. Its entire job is to steal heat energy from inside that box, forcing those little particles to slow way down. Okay, so if the fridge steals the heat, where does it go? You can't just make it disappear. Well, let's follow that stolen heat on its little journey. Think of it like a heist, carried out by a special chemical agent called a refrigerant. So here's how the heist goes down in 4 basic steps. First, inside the fridge, this special liquid refrigerant turns into a gas, and in the process, it just sucks up heat from everything around it, your food, the air, everything. Second, this now gaseous refrigerant, carrying all that stolen heat, travels to the back of the fridge. Third, a compressor squeezes that gas like crazy. This concentrates all the heat and makes it super, super hot. And finally, this hot gas flows through those coils on the back and dumps all that stolen heat right out into your kitchen. And that last step, step 4, that is the most important piece of this puzzle. The entire system, the whole shebang, is designed just to dump that heat somewhere else. So that warm air you feel behind your fridge, that is literal physical proof of the heat heist. It's the exact same heat energy that was just chilling in your milk and vegetables, and now it's being vented straight into your kitchen. It's just a heat relocation device. But wait, that's not even the whole story. There's a plot twist. See, it's not just a simple game of moving heat from point A to point B. There's another huge factor here that turns your fridge from just a heat mover into a true heat producer. That's right, the actual process of moving all that heat around, that takes work. The compressor, the fans, all the electronics, they have to run on electricity. And one of the fundamental laws of physics is that doing work creates heat as a byproduct. So, the total amount of heat getting dumped into your kitchen comes from 2 different places. You've got the original heat that was stolen from inside the fridge, plus all the extra heat generated by the electricity used to run the machine itself. And guess what? Both of them get shot right out into your room. So what this means is, for every single unit of heat energy the fridge manages to remove from the inside, it actually releases more than 1 unit of heat energy out into your kitchen. It's always a net positive for heat. It can't be anything else. Okay, so now that we have all the pieces of the puzzle, let's put this knowledge to the test. Let's look at a couple of common scenarios just to see how this plays out in the real world. You've heard this one, right? Can you cool down a hot room by leaving the fridge door open? Well, now you know the answer is a huge, definite no. In fact, you're doing the exact opposite. The fridge is going to work like crazy, pulling heat out of the room, but it just dumps that exact same heat right back out the back, plus all that extra waste heat from its motor running nonstop. The net result, you're actually making the room warmer. So then, why does an air conditioner actually cool a room but a fridge doesn't? They literally work on the exact same principle of moving heat. The only difference, and it's a huge one, is where they dump the heat. A fridge dumps the heat into the very room it's trying to cool. An air conditioner, well, it has that big unit outside for a reason. It dumps the heat outside your house. It really is all about location, location, location. So let's just reframe this whole thing once and for all. The next time you open your fridge for a snack, just remember what you're really looking at. This thing isn't a machine that makes cold. It's a really sophisticated, highly organized heat relocation device. That's its real job. And that kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a simple machine like the refrigerator is working on such a counterintuitive principle, what other everyday objects in our homes are hiding some kind of fascinating scientific secret right there in plain sight?